So many people are very concerned about what's happening this weekend here in Boise and Idaho with the Boise Pride Festival. Well, this list from the Idaho Republican Party lists several companies and organizations that are sponsoring the Boise Pride Festival. And the top of the list is IACI, which is Idaho Association of Commerce and Industry. We look down here a little bit. We got Clearwater, we got Blue Cross of Idaho, Micron, we got St. Luke's Hospital, we have Simplot, and there's others. Now, if you go to the Boise Pride Festival website, you can also look at the sponsors. So you look here, you got St. Luke's, Simplot, Micron, you've got Idaho Power, Intermountain Gas, Holland and Hart, and very similar list. Now, let's go back to IACI, because that's the top of the list here. And let's go to their website. They say, this is Idaho Association of Commerce and Industry. And they say since 1974, IACI has been Idaho's most effective business lobby. They brag that they're an important and influential force in Idaho's politics. So they're a pretty powerful group of businesses and people. And let's see who is part of this association. Idaho Power, Intermountain Gas Company, Micron, Potlatch, Simplot, St. Luke's Hospital, Blue Cross of Idaho, Clearwater, and others. Well, that's the same list that is sponsoring the Boise Pride Festival. Governor Brad Little was the chair of the IACI board. He was the chairman. And IACI has certainly placed Governor Little where he's at today. As governor, Governor Little's chief of staff named Zach Haig, well, he was the vice president of IACI. And there's many other staff members and associations with Brad Little who had important positions in IACI. Now, remember the sponsors of the Boise Pride Festival and the members of IACI? Well, let's go through some of them. Bear Healthcare donated to Brad Little's campaign this year. We got Potlatch, donated $10,000 to Brad Little's campaign. Intermountain Gas Company donated $10,000 to Brad Little's campaign. J.R. Simplot Company donated $10,000 to Brad Little's campaign this year. Micron Technology donated $10,000 to Brad Little's campaign this year. Blue Cross of Idaho donated $10,000 to Brad Little's campaign this year. Idaho Power donated $10,000 to Brad Little's campaign this year. Clearwater Paper donated $10,000 to Brad Little's campaign this year. You see a pattern? Governor Little's assistant, her name is Claudia Simplot Nally. Let's look at also a sponsor of the Boise Pride Festival that is an actual government entity, Idaho Department of Health and Welfare. Well, let's look how much they've donated. Well, in 2021, they've donated $164,000 to Pride festivals in Idaho. This is taxpayers' dollars. Now, I want to give you some statistics to kind of bring this home a little bit. Did you know that when children are taken by the state under the Department of Health and Welfare, CPS, that they are 7 times more likely to go to homosexual foster parents? When people want to be foster parents, they have to go through training, obviously. Well, they are also issued a book for this training, and this training is called something very interesting. This book is called something very interesting. It is called the Pride Book. I do not believe in any way that is a coincidence. Governor Brad Little was the only state representative to support gay marriage in the 2000s. Remember the gay marriage battle back in the 2000s? Well, Governor Brad Little was the only state representative in Idaho to support gay marriage. St. Luke's Hospital was the #1 private beneficiary of the COVID funds, coming directly from Governor Brad Little's office. Now, the #1 government entity that received COVID funds from the governor's office was the Department of Health and Welfare. St. Luke's Hospital is suing me, as you know, and their law firm is Holland and Hart, who's also a sponsor of the Boise Pride Fest. Hope you could see here why the Pride Festival and why the gay movement is so strong here in Idaho, and who is actually funding it and sponsoring it. And much of those funds actually are coming from the taxpayers